All right, hello. I am joined by Super Chief, and we are playing Oyster Odyssey. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Doing fine. All right. So, the audio in the game is pretty quiet. Is there actually background music, or is it just the like sound effects?
There should be like a bubbling, splashing noise
Okay,
while you're diving, but
okay,
I'm
I'll
not sure if
turn
it's
it
too
up.
quiet.
It's I can hear it. It's just a little quiet, so I'll turn it up a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll go ahead and get started with showing off the game, and perhaps you can start off by talking a little bit about your game development background. And you were the only developer on this project?
Yeah. This is my fourth Ludum Dare now. I think I've made like 6 games total. Yeah, I was alone in doing this, and I initially tried to do the compo submission. But after the second day, I was like, that's not happening. So maybe a more relaxed one with the jam. But yeah.
I can immediately see what you mean about the speed power up being useful. So speed is just like your maximum speed. Agility, is that controlling how quickly you turn around?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
So you don't really have to worry about that one too much until you get fast, really fast.
got it. So you can sort of invest in speed early on. Oh, I'm going to be greedy and grab these two over here before heading up back to the surface. But yeah, I appreciate you can just reach anywhere on the surface. You don't have to make it back to your boat. It's oxygen after all.
Yeah, when I was playtesting it with my friend, we kind of figured how are you meant to drown when you're on the surface, so it doesn't really make sense. So yeah, I
Right.
just made it the whole surface.
So I know It's Boats is around, and he made a game that is like the popular Flash game Motherload. And in that game, you have an actual fuel meter where it kind of makes sense that unless you make it to the gas station, if you run out of fuel, that's it.
Mm.
Okay, nothing, nothing over here. I'm heading back up to the surface. Okay, so I think I've upgraded speed enough to the point where if it costs 128, I will probably invest in some other upgrades. I think oxygen is what's hurting me the most right now because that's gonna influence the total length of time. Um,
Yeah,
oh my gosh, I'm not going for that oyster. So if you touch anywhere along the white chain for
it's
the sea mine,
no, the chain is not hittable. It's just the mine itself.
okay. It was a little hard to tell just because everything has this white outline effect on it. I
Yeah,
figured
actually,
that,
that's a good point. I think I should have just white outlined the top of it.
yeah, I think that would help draw the attention to like this is the part you actually have to worry about.
Mm, that makes
But
sense.
I do like this sort of push your luck kind of, but otherwise reasonably chill. Like I don't have to. I could just keep making small dives. I'm fighting my own impatience effectively.
Yeah, you should try and push the limit. You won't die instantly as you get to 0%.
Ah, oh, I can't get this oyster.
That's just a issue with the spawning locations being too close to the ground.
Okay. So when your oxygen meter hits zero, like, do you? I mean, what happens?
Well, you start drowning then. So I kind of thought about it in a realistic way. Like if your oxygen runs out, if you're a real diver, you're not gonna just die instantly. You'll be holding your breath. So technically, he like holds his breath for 10 seconds and then drowns.
All right. I mean, I appreciate that the timer there, like you can keep an eye on it and try to play within that limit, but I've done similar things where like I had a mechanic in a game where there's like an enemy that kills you if you take 10 seconds to clear a screen. But the timer, um, I think it was actually like each second that counts down is actually slightly more than a second. It actually counts down to zero. So it's actually 11 seconds. And then the other
Mm,
thing that happens is the enemy starts at one position on the screen and then it just grows until it fills the screen. But because it physically grows larger, as long as you're not right up next to it, you have that extra time until it actually reaches you. So
right.
all just these like subtle methods of making it so that whoops, I should have spent some money there. But yeah, just all these subtle methods of giving you like slightly more time than you actually think you have.
Yeah, yeah, a little buffer.
So, do larger oysters spawn lower down, or is it mostly a randomization?
No, it is. Yeah, it is. The deeper you go, the larger oysters appear. It is like a probability matrix that I made.
Okay.
It's basically just broken up into four like quadrants. So like there's four. The deepest of the four is like very likely to spawn those big ones that you just picked up,
Hmm.
and they're obviously worth more. But yeah, it's kind of basic.
Is it based strictly on depth? So, like going left and right doesn't have an influence on it?
Yeah, going left and right doesn't affect it.
How precise is the movement? Like if you hold left and up at the same time, do you increase your movement speed because you're effectively doubling the input?
I don't think so, but actually I have not considered that until you just asked. So I don't know. Tell me what you think of it, how it feels.
It
Do you
seems to
feel faster
be,
diagonally?
yeah, maybe it's hard to say. Like, oh, okay, 7%, 6%. Okay, I mean, I know you told me I don't have to worry too much, but okay, shop. I do want to shop. Oh, we can afford another speed upgrade. Oh,
Always
I
go
think,
speed. You have to go
yeah.
speed.
Oh my gosh, that is so significant. What the heck? I mean, I appreciate it. Like big changes. Like there's nothing worse than paying more and more money for like less and less of a actual upgrade. So
Yeah, you're getting some bang for your buck there for sure.
yeah, that seems very significant. Holy
Yeah,
smokes.
the speed gets a bit ridiculous, but I thought, why not?
Yeah, why not? Exactly. So I think I'll be investing in agility next, so I don't smash headfirst into a sea mine. Now, is that an instant game over?
No, that's just end the dive and lose your money.
Okay, okay. Well, again, I appreciate that you've made a lot of concessions for not like, and then even if you run out of oxygen, that's also like not a game over. You just lose whatever you collected on that run.
Yes. Yeah, correct.
So am I right in understanding that there aren't actually any game over conditions?
Yeah, correct. It's pretty
Okay.
forgiving.
Yeah. No, I definitely appreciate that. Oh, one more. And then we're going back up. Okay, I think I need to start investing heavily in agility at this point because this guy is becoming a little unwieldy to control.
I think you should get more speed, personally.
Well, I can't afford the speed yet, but I can afford some more oxygen. So let's go for that.
Okay.
Oh my god. All right. So can you talk a little bit about the inspiration behind this game?
Uh, great question. I was going through the list of final themes with my friends, and we were talking about harvest in particular, and for some reason we
Mhm.
were talking about oysters. I don't really know why, but um, I just said to them, if the theme is harvest, I promise I'll do a game about oysters. And yeah, I found it really hard to make it look like oysters because they look like clams basically, but I'm just gonna say they're oysters.
Sure. I mean, like clams, oysters, I know they're like technically visually distinct. Like I think the like if you put them both in front of me, I'm not sure. Like I think I could tell the difference between them. I couldn't tell you which one was which.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, agreed with Mini David. I really like the yeah, the color scheme is really nice and the pixel art like the animation on the diver is really fluid as well. Like you actually have is it a full 8 different sprites for the different angles that he's moving in?
Yes,
Or I
this
guess
full eight.
half.
Yeah, correct. There's up. Yeah, there's half because it just flips
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Oh, let's grab these guys. Yeah, we've got a question from Mini David asking if there were any inspirations for the art.
Um, there were a few. I did Google some um like pixel art of divers and also of like underwater tile sets, and I kind of used
Mhm.
those as my inspiration.
Nice. Uh, all right. So were there any like games in particular that you were looking at, or just like general Google search for diver tile set or ocean tile set?
Um, just general, really. I try and be like as creative as I can when I'm starting with my pixel art. Oh,
That's why you got to be a little more careful if you are get that high speed. Well, again, I really appreciate that there's no penalty because if I'd have just gotten a game over from that, I would have been very frustrated.
yeah, I think you might stop playing at that point.
Yeah, that would be a rage quit moment for sure. It's just like I died because I was like, um. So, do you have an easy way, perhaps, to like zoom the screen out?
Um, as in like development or as in the game currently?
Well, not in the game currently, but in development. Like, do you have is the view controller that you're using like? Do you think you'd be
Yeah,
able to
I'm
add
sure I
that?
could. Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Just because I think the faster your character moves, the more important it is to be able to see like in the direction that you're
Mm.
swimming.
Mm-hmm. It might be worth having that as like an upgrade, more vision.
Yeah, potentially. Like it could be something that you can like choose not to invest in. Or it could just be like part and parcel with your speed upgrades, is
Mm.
being able to see further.
Yeah, the balancing overall of the game was like extremely last minute. I really didn't get much time to test. I just wanted to get in time for the jam. So like all the numbers of purchasing stuff and all of that is like just random guesswork, really.
Oh, that's all right. I mean, you've got a vague sense. Oh, there he is. I just encountered Mega Jug, so I know which way I'm coming back. Now, if I can remember my way to the surface, that is going to be a another feat. Oh, maybe. I'm going to I came from the right. Now I'm going up
Hmm.
via the left, and I'm just hoping that there is in fact a path back.
Yep.
It looks like yes, but I know I'm also 35 meters below sea level. So, oh, ceiling. I imagine this kind of thing induces some anxiety in certain players.
Possibly,
I
yeah.
don't think I can make it back to the surface with only 19% oxygen at this point.
I feel
Um,
good about your chances.
have you ever gone diving yourself?
I have, yeah. So I kind of thought this theme was good because it's a hobby and slash passion I've had before. So yeah,
So were you able to draw on any like particular real life experience, or is it just a little more abstract than that?
it's definitely way more abstract, but I think I use my real life experience to help with the diver animations in particular.
Come on, come on.
So now you get to,
Oh, oh my God. Just barely made it.
wow.
Okay. And all we get for that is a slight upgrade to our agility. Well, I say slight. I'm assuming you really seem to get like you move real fast at the start here. Does the like character slow down over time?
The character slows when you pick up oysters. So it based on
Oh,
the weight of the oyster is how much you slow down.
okay. I was wondering, like, I'm definitely going faster now, like, because it's one of those like the fake expression about boiling a frog in water. Like, if you do it slowly enough, and the frog is lobotomized, then it doesn't notice. But
Yeah.
yeah, the point is, like, as I'm picking up the oysters, I don't notice how I'm getting slowly slower. Ooh.
Yeah, especially when you have more speed. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, there were a bunch of good ones near the surface that time, and I should have just turned around, cashed them in. Meow. Well, I guess at least it lets you get down faster, and then you just have. But it does kind of throw you off because if you're thinking, okay, I got down here with 50% of my speed, then you can end up miscalculating and not realizing how little time you have to get back up.
Yeah, I think it's something I had in the game, but I need more like indicators of, like maybe just
Mm,
like a weight balance on one side of the screen so you can kind of be aware of it.
could be. I mean, like there are ways to like add an upgrade tree to this game that just to honestly are just like frustrating, and that would include something like, oh, your oyster bag is only so large, you need to buy a bigger bag before you can carry bigger oysters.
Yeah.
um, but there's more interesting ways of adding an upgrade tree, like things that actually add mechanics to the game, like maybe having some sort of sonar ping that points you in the direction of big oysters, but you can only use it so many times. Um, so you have to like swim a certain way and then decide like, oh yeah, I'm going to use that sonar ping now, and then try to remember where the ping, like what all the directions were that it pointed in. Um,
Yeah.
anything that's just a stat upgrade, which like effectively that's all we have right now are just stat upgrades.
Mm.
It doesn't have the same impact. Like for sorry, I don't mean to be like criticizing this. Like for a game jam, I think the fact that all this is put together works excellently. But it just like it really depends if you were trying to construct a longer, more elaborate play experience, then I would advise going for upgrades that don't just effectively change values on a slider.
Yeah.
But
I think one of there's lots of upgrades I really wish I could have incorporated. Like I wanted to have more obstacles such as like enemies or fish, sharks,
mhm.
and that would come with upgrades that you could deal with them like knife, with which would include like an attack. But another upgrade I thought of recently which would help progress the player quicker, would be like a money upgrade where you're
Mhm.
selling your oysters would be worth more, so they could just progress quicker. Like a business perk where you can sell your oysters for more money or something like that.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's any way, like, rather than just buying an upgrade that lets you sell things for more, because again, like it's just is an economy boost. But is there something you could do that's a bit more like grabbing oysters builds a combo, and then like the faster you get them back, the
Mm,
fresher they are, the more they sell for,
mm.
something like that.
I really like that idea actually. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Hello, Parp Parpenas Parp. My God, I can't. Parpans. I don't know why that username just broke my brain. Hello. It is evening here, but I assume it is afternoon for you. I'd say the stream's going well so far, so thank you so much for saying hi. We are just taking a look at games from Luramdare 52, and in particular, we are playing Oyster Odyssey, which I will drop the link in chat in case anyone else would like to join and play alone. Um, so, what was your actual development process like for this game?
Um, it was actually a real slow start. I wish I had more prep time, but I basically did zero prep going into this. So the first day was like me figuring out how to do game dev again after not touching it for since the last Loom Dare. So the first like day was basically just making the player controller move like a diver and look like a diver. And then the rest of it was like the shop. The next day was like shop functionality and oyster collectibles and probability and yeah. The second and third day were so much more productive than the first.
Yeah, so you just had to take a little bit of time to shake the rest off.
Exactly.
All right. So what was the most difficult problem that you encountered during the jam, and how did you solve it?
Um, I think I was smacking my head a little bit against my keyboard for the like oyster spawning.
Hmm.
So trying to get that to work because basically I wanted to have areas where they spawn, and so I needed to iterate through all those areas and spawn them randomly. But I sorted it out in the end, and I used, like I said, a probability like matrix kind of on which oyster spawn where. But basically, they're just like boxes I set everywhere across the map, and they're the
Hmm.
areas where they spawn. And a random point gets chosen between all the boxes, and then based on the depth of that point, um, it runs a probability on which oyster to spawn.
Okay, yeah. So there's just an increasing probability that the lower you go, the more valuable the oyster is going to be.
Yeah, it's a bit basic, so it's only broken into four like sections. So
Hmm.
if you're in the deepest of the four, then there's better chance. It's not like but completely based on depth. It's just as long as you're in this section, then run this probability.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that one other thing that would really help, um, if this, like, because there are at least, as far as I can tell, two ways to get down. Like, there's a sort of come from the left or come from the right.
Yeah.
But if you were to make it a little more maze-like, I think you'd have to include a little more decoration.
Mm,
So things like coral reef features or seaweed going in certain patterns, like something that helps make different areas of the map visually distinct, potentially
mm.
even different like tile sets and palettes.
Yeah, I would have absolutely loved to do some more environment sprites. Like I was particularly thinking of seaweed as well. Um, and also I was kind of going into this hoping that I could make the map spawn randomly at each dive. So it's got that like kind of roguelike idea. But
Oh yeah.
I don't think I don't have that knowledge just yet, and I didn't know how to do that quickly for this jam. But I think for the next jam I'll aim for something like that.
Yeah, I know that like random generators are like not easy to do.
No.
The easiest random generator you can make will probably just be not very entertaining. Oh, look at this mother load.
Damn.
Oh, now I'm swimming so slowly. Okay, I definitely have enough for that net. I just wanted to see if on this sort of particular dive I could accumulate enough money for one other upgrade aside from that.
Yeah. I want to see you with the next speed one.
Oh my gosh. I think just for sake of still being able to control my character, I don't know if I strictly need that upgrade.
You don't need it though. It's more of a want and not a need.
But yeah, so in terms of making a viable random generator that is like actually generating interesting scenarios, I mean, I think my personal bias would just be to spend the time handcrafting the levels, or maybe even the chunks of the levels, and then having an algorithm that stitches those together.
Yeah.
Um, I'm definitely on team like handcrafted levels.
Yeah. Well, I just ran it with like a handcrafted maze, but I didn't really put too much effort into how I thought about it. I kind of just threw it together. You gonna go for it now?
I'm going on a mission. I'm not picking anything up. I'm maintaining, well, grab that one by mistake, but I'm trying to maintain maximum speed. So oh no, it's around to the far right here. Um, yeah, so do you have plans to continue development on this game?
I don't think so. I think it could be improved drastically and made way more funner, but um, I don't think so. No, I don't like. This is not one of my favorite submissions I've done, but yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, here we go. I've got Mega Jug in tow.
Nice.
I'm glad I didn't grab anything else because I imagine it would slow down my speed pretty dramatically. Oh,
Yeah.
get over here. So I'm assuming this is going to sell for some absurd amount of money.
You'll see.
Did you expect players to like come from the left or uh like which way did you design the map? Like which path did you have in mind?
Like I said, I really just threw the map together, so I didn't take time to think about how the players would move to get to the bottom. I just
Okay.
made 2 entries from both sides. So I think quite often players enter from the right side from what I've seen, but I had no anticipation either way.
Gotcha. Well, I just want to say a quick hello to our raiders. Thank you so much, Tabugas. Welcome. If you would like to submit your own game, you can use the !submit command. We are just playing Oyster Odyssey right now, and in fact, this is right up near the end of the game. But I will be doing interviews with Ludum Dare developers all week, so haha. Okay, we got our end cutscene with the mega jug all strapped to the boat. Oh, and then it just loops back to the beginning. Wait. Oh, oh. It's not the beginning. It's the oyster now swearing revenge against you for having kidnapped his dad. Oh my gosh, it's 3 a.m. All right. Bye-bye. Thanks again for the raid. And we will definitely have earlier stream. That sound just keeps playing, huh?
Yep. Sorry.
Bye-bye. Cool. Well, I'm glad that's almost perfect timing, making it to the end there, and also wrapping things up in the interview here. So, as always, do you have any other projects you want to point people towards, or any social media channels you'd like to plug?
Not really. If you want to see more games from me, you can just follow me on my itch. But yeah, I'll post my stuff there.
Oh, I just did it for you, but yeah, thanks so much for coming on and talking about the game. This has definitely been a fun one to play. And
No
yeah,
worries.
because I appreciate a lot of the concessions you made. Just like there is no game over condition. It's just something you can sort of push your luck, push your impatience, and
Yeah.
oh, I think a timer would have been fun because you could try to see like who finishes the game fastest. What's the optimal
run.
route, the optimal upgrades. Although
Yeah.
I say that about almost everything. You just slap a timer on there.
All right. Maybe I'll just do that now.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thanks so much for coming on and having this conversation. Have yourself a wonderful evening, and I look forward to see what you make next.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye for now.